So I'm a very, very frugal person, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. That's a really tough combo when it comes to being a videographer slash photographer. Now, my number one hack for how you can actually save hundreds and hundreds of dollars on all this different gear coming out and the different gear that you want is patience. Now, I know that's a pretty boring topic to cover, but I just want to show you in this video how using a little bit of patience and just kind of shopping a little bit smarter can save you $50 to hundreds and hundreds of dollars on the gear that you want. Now, I'm gonna do this for two separate videos, but in this video, I wanna cover audio and lighting. Now, this right here is my trusty dusty Tascam DR40X. Now, I got this thing about 2 years ago off of B&H used for $110. Now, I admit that this isn't the best recorder on the market, and it records only up to 24-bit. However, $110 for this thing, which I think was like, it was like 200 brand new or something like that, or 210 brand new when it originally dropped. Like, that's a massive, massive amount of savings. And the only trade-off I had to make with this thing being used is that it has some like number scuffing on the front. But all in all though, with this thing being the age that it is, it still works flawlessly. Like, it doesn't have a single issue. There's some things in the menu that like feels a little dated, but it works flawlessly. I don't have any issues with it, and it's just an absolute steal for what I got it for. So if you're in the market for any type of like XLR recorder right now, I highly recommend going to like Adorama or B&H, checking out their used like section. You'll find so many ridiculously good deals. Like I said, especially with everything moving to 32-bit float, all the 24-bit recorders are dirt cheap. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to microphones. This is a very fun topic for me. Now, I'm going to exclude things like XLR microphones just because those honestly kind of a lot like lenses do tend to hold their value really well because there's no like built-in electronics to them or anything like that. It's literally just a plug-and-play device. However, when it comes to shotgun microphones like these on-camera microphones, these drop in value extremely fast. First is this Rode video mic right here. Now, I have modified mine a little bit, but on today's market, finding these for used, now this thing is pretty old, but it still sounds great, it still works flawlessly. Finding these things used on the market, you can find them for about $50, maybe up to $75. That's so stupidly cheap. Now, I don't know if you can buy them brand new or not anymore, but like I said, just buying it used, this thing has, I mean, look how long it is. Like, it's got some great reach to it. It picks up audio extremely well. And this was my first mic that I used when I was getting into doing weddings. So like I said, it picks up clean, crisp audio, and it just works fantastically. Then I have this Deity D3 Pro right here. Now, this is a interesting mic. I think like brand new, it was like $150 or something like that, or maybe up to $200, I don't know. But I know for the most part, you can find these even just brand new now on the market, since they have like the D4 Pro or something like that. You can find these for about $100. I got this when I bought it. I got it used for right around 110. That was before the major price drops on the new ones and before the new one came out. So a big reason for why this mic takes such a hit, like especially on the used market, is because it does have a built-in battery, and obviously those built-in batteries are going to degrade over time. However, most likely I'm going to get years and years and years of use out of this before it actually starts to give me any issues. And like the build quality of this thing, I mean, it's like fully metal construction right there. It sounds fantastic. It picks up better than any mic I've used with my camera for sure. Now, I do have one other option right here. This one is not one you probably would have waited for or anything, but sometimes I will say don't sleep, especially on a setup like this, like a little small YouTube setup, like something that doesn't matter greatly. You know, it's not like I'm not using this for professional use. Don't sleep on really cheap budget shotgun mics like this one right here. This is from a company called Techstar. My mom found this at a yard sale for $5. And it's borderline a knockoff Rode video mic. Like, it's like really, really close to this. I think it actually sounds pretty good. It's a little tinny, but you know, it's totally usable. Found it for $5. And I think like brand new, like normally they run for about $30. Okay, so I promise you I didn't just wait like 4 days later to shoot the lighting section of this video. Anyways, we're moving on to lighting. Probably one of the most crucial parts, along with audio, when it comes to any type of video work. Anyways, so to kick it off, I'm going to talk about my trusty dusty Godox SL100D. Now, there's a few things I love about this light. First, it's only a 100-watt light, so it's not the most powerful light ever, but it does get pretty freaking bright. I'm going to crank her all the way up. You can see my my zebras are going nuts right now. This is all the way up, bouncing directly into the ceiling. It has a really good output. Like, it's not just mind-blowing, but it does have a really good output, especially for the price you pay for it. So right now, I think when this thing launched, it was like $180 brand new. You can buy these brand new right now for $130, which is pretty nuts, or 130, 140, somewhere around there. I bought it used for $100. So that's pretty insane, because when I was getting ready to buy this thing, I was actually considering, my first thought was I'm going to get the Godox SL1 or the SL60D or whatever it's called. And that was going to be my first initial light. That's kind of like everybody's first light when they get in the lighting, you know. But I decided on this light instead, just because, I mean, the price of it was so freaking cheap buying it used. I was like, there's just no way I can pass on this. So once again, massive savings for a really powerful light. Definitely has enough juice for everything I've really needed it for. It's not the most powerful out there, but that just goes to show you how much you can save on really good lights if you just go used, or if you just wait, you know, a year or two after they dropped. Now, one spot where the savings can either be really good or they could just basically be non-existent is when it comes to little on-camera LED lights like this. Now, this is one from WeLight. It's called the SO5. It's a really good light. I really like this thing. It's super powerful, and it's tiny enough to fit in like really small places. This thing was like $30 brand new. Kind of went on. It goes on sale here and there. If you're buying it used, you're only ever going to get like maybe just like $3 to $5 off buying it used, unless it's in really poor condition. So for something like this, it's almost not even worth it going used. Where as opposed to like something like the Aperture MCs, or you know, higher end lights, like the lights that are like this, but they cost about $100, then you can actually see some pretty big savings when you buy used. So when it comes to something like this, like if you're gonna get something like this around this price, I wouldn't even worry about trying to go used. I would just worry about trying to find good sales on it. Last but certainly not least is lighting modifiers. Now this right here is a really freaking big, overly big. I ordered way too big when I got this. Super big octagon or octagonal? No. Octagon shaped softbox, and then there's a grid that can go in front of with it. I didn't feel like putting that on. Now this is a huge area where I say always buy used. Now I'll say this one, it doesn't matter typically how late in the game you buy these. Like this could have dropped like 20 years ago and you're just now buying it. The price on this, kind of a lot like lenses, never really goes down. Like lighting modifiers kind of keep the exact same price forever, because there's not really much that can go wrong with them. Like they can wear out over time and rip and tear, but as far as just like, there's no like batteries in them or anything like that's gonna degrade over time, so they just kind of stay good forever. So the price on these never really drops. You might find them on sale, but you're never just gonna see them have like a random price decrease because they're just older, you know? However though, when you buy them used, that's where you can save a lot of money. I saved about $40 buying this used, and it was pretty lightly used. Like nothing was wrong with it. I have made it look more used now since I've owned it than whoever owned it before me. And that kind of goes with all lighting modifiers. There's like umbrellas, parabolic softboxes. I just ordered a lantern softbox that I got used for like $20 off. There's just loads and loads of different options. And I mean, typically you're not gonna save just massive amounts of money up front, but if you're buying, and you probably will buy a lot of different modifiers over time, because there's different modifiers that you can use for so many different situations, you're going to save a lot of money accumulatively over time. So this is a huge area where I recommend you can really save a lot of money if you can just kind of swallow your pride a bit and just buy used. Okay, to stop being a dead horse here, really the whole point I'm trying to make in this video is one, like to kind of cut out any of the excuses of like, oh my god, like everything's so expensive, I can't afford this, I can't afford that. There's ways to get really good gear, or gear that can at least get the job done for you for a lot cheaper than you think. And the second is really to just offer a word of encouragement to all of you out there. I know it's like really easy to get caught up, especially with how many YouTube videos come out, how much gear comes out like every single freaking day, and now coming into the holiday season where people are just throwing out reviews left and right of everything. It can get a little overwhelming, and you feel like you need everything that comes out, or you feel like the gear you currently have isn't good enough anymore, and that you're constantly needing to upgrade or buy the latest and greatest, and it is costing you thousands and thousands of dollars. I just want you to know, like, one, like, it's okay to just hold out a little bit, you know, save your money, wait till the really good deals come for what you're wanting, especially because you know the Gen 2 is just going to come the next year anyway, so just wait it out one more year, buy the previous gen model of whatever you're wanting, and then you can already save a bunch of money, and then it's okay to buy used. Like 98% of the time, you're not going to get screwed over if you're buying something used. Now, the only recommendation I would give is that if you're really having some worrisome qualms about buying something used, start with like B&H or Adorama. Like start with companies that actually test out the gear that comes in, and then they'll usually give like a little rating on each piece of gear of like how used it actually is. So then you can at least, you know, feel a little more trustworthy. And if you get something in that's used and it's crap or it's not working the way it's supposed to properly work, they'll usually give you a discount or a refund or something like that. Then when you're feeling a little more confident, you can swing over to eBay and really get some dirt cheap deals on stuff. Anyways, stop making stupid excuses. Just go out there and make the thing that you want to make. If you want to make some YouTube content, go make it. If you want to go make a short film, go freaking make it. It doesn't matter. Just take your gear out there, use it, stop making excuses, and just make the most of this short life that we have. Anyways, links for everything will be down below. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.
I came here for vengeance, watch your back. No need to defend, I'm on attack. Sorry they can't reply, but I guarantee they had a blast. Pop, 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 I'll be on the next.